we are doing Laurel Burch's cats. We have to have cat to do something like. So this one, I only use markers and crayons. I'm going to use some different materials, but the basic steps are all the same. And you're going to use the materials that you have available with you. So let me start putting Laurel's sketch by this side over here. And I'm going to start by getting a black crayon. I'm using crayon because I want to create a wax resistant surface on my paper. This paper is a little bit more thick than printer paper and we can use for painting watercolors. Put your paper in portrait position, okay? And let's start by doing this W over here. I'm going to find the center of my paper, bring my hand up a little bit more up, and I will draw the W right here. Okay, so you can do it with your fingers first, and then we do a W right here. This W is our cat's face. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 triangles at the corners to be my ears. So triangle number 1, triangle number 2. And I'm closing this together at the base of the shape. I'm doing now a letter V right here, where will be its nose. I'm bringing the V up on both sides. And now I will bring in an arch, like a rainbow shape, until I find the end of my cat. So rainbows. And the same on the other side. Rainbows. I'm going to be closing this rainbow now with a smiley face, just the lips, okay? So I do like a smile lip in one side and a smile on the other side. For the center of the eyes, I will do a big ball. And it's going to be as big as I can fit here inside on both eyes. This way. I'm going to do a small circle now where it's going to be the glow of my eye. And a dark circle around each are the pupils here and here. There you go. Now I just need to put my mouth out. The head of my cat is pretty much done. If you want to add details such as eyebrows, mine doesn't have a space, but if you do, go ahead. And the mustaches, and dots or patterns on the face, be my guest. I'm just adding a small triangle for the ears on this one. Now let's move for the body. We're going to start by doing a straight line from the right side of the cat until around 3 or 4 fingers from my paper. So let's just bring this line down like that. And now on the other side, I'm going to make a curved line. It will be right here. So I'm going to start more close to the cheeks and make a line curve. So I will have my body's cat. I will lightly close these two together, but I want you to see how to do now the legs in here. So I'm going to do 2 legs here and here. I'm first dividing one of them right here. You can see around 1 finger, 2 fingers, okay? And I will divide 1 more time for the second leg. So we can see the paws here. I'm just making more circle-ish. So make it round by the end. Make it round. This way. So cool. Now to this side, I'm going to do the tail. And I want this tail to be more curly. So I'm curling the tail over here and back to the bottom. So one starts in the bottom line, the other doesn't. They just have to come out. And tails up. Now my cat's floating in the air. And I'm not really willing to leave my cat floating. It's not a butterfly. Unless you do some wings on it. Maybe. You want to try? Go for it. But I want to do a floor line or something to settle this cat down. So I'm just doing a line in both sides, right here. And I'm going to skip my cat and the line will continue on the other side. Now my cat can be on the floor, in a cushion, anywhere that you want. Just have to draw this line. You have the table over here. If you want to add flowers or some other patterns, go for it. I'm going to keep this one pretty much simple like that. If you want to start adding patterns now, you can keep adding details to your cat. So mustacho, whiskers, and this one has these patterns in here. I'm gonna change the pattern. So I'm creating a hashtag pattern in this cat. Just before painting, okay? I'm not painting yet. So this cat has hashtags, Laurel Burch cats. There you go. I'm quite happy with my cat right now. So I'm going to move for painting step. If you want to paint with your crayons, go on. If you want to paint with colored pencils, markers, that's all up to you. Actually, before that, I'm going to add some textures. I'm going to add some textures to my background, like I did with these lines here and then with the triangles. So for this background, I'm going to do a different texture over here by doing some curved lines. You can use colors too, you don't have to do it in black. But I want to do some curved lines. It's like melting, my background's melting. Some short, some long. This is pretty cool. Please, cat, don't melt with my background. There you go. And right here on the floor, my patterns will be just lines. So I'm doing parallel lines, horizontal lines at the bottom. So now I have some text in the background too, like I have in here, the zigzag lines and the triangles on my floor or my tail. I don't know where my cat is. Okay, now let's get ready to add some colors. If you're going to be using painting like I am, make sure you have a napkin or any paper towels, or maybe an old cloth, an old piece of fabric that you can wash your brush and clean your brush and dry your brush when you change colors. I'm not putting the black paint over here because I have a lot of black lines in here. So let's save it aside and let's make sure that our paint is all clean while we do our work. So I'm going to start by painting my cat's body in red. So again, red paint. If you want your paint to be more like watercolors, you can just add a little bit of water to make the paint more liquid. I'm just adding water now, no paint again. So it looks very light, like a watercolor. I want to add some yellow, so I'm cleaning my brush, drying my brush, so I can get a new color to my cat. I want to blend both my yellow and red on my cat's tail. Clean my brush, dry my brush, new color. So I want to blend both colors in here and whoa, what's happening? Oh, I'm finding orange. Yellow and red makes orange. There we go, I have some orange on my work too. Now let's go back to the cat's body. And I want to paint you all. I'm keeping adding water as I want it to have this watercolor look. So sometimes I just pick water instead of more paint. And let's keep painting.